Oh, there's some new hardware, setting up some new equipment. That's why we're getting late, but we've already started the the YouTube stream, so I'm just waiting for that to kick in. But we're here. Salam's Periscope. What's going on? And I'm just waiting for the YouTube to refresh over here. There it goes. It kicks on. And there's the alert on my phone. So off we 23 on the East Coast and 9:23 in the Central Time Zone, where Texas exists, where Texas governor says there are worse things than being dead. And we are here this evening once again. Sorry, Lieutenant Governor, on YouTube every Tuesday evening. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the hardest working imam that I know, Imam Azhar.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening to our listeners from all around the world. We welcome you on YouTube, on Twitter, on Periscope. We welcome you on all channels that you are able to access us. We thank you for joining us tonight. And I want to say, kicking off from the get go, Carl, why not? This is Texas. We are people of faith. If you're going to die, you're going to die. But the economy isn't in the hands of God. I think that's what they believe. But no, we're
Hoorah!
coming to you. We're coming to you at a time where the topics of discussion are selected by you always. Episode number 115, 114, 113. See, I'm one what? 113, right?
13, yes,
So we're
113.
115. So thank you so much for joining us once again
13.
for our weekly
13.
program. Where realistically, we try to engage on issues and topics that are of utmost importance to all of us. And by providing the element of faith, we try to steer the direction towards a specific goal. Again, we are not here as claiming to be Rush Limbaugh or people who are expert matters on every single thing that's out there beneath the sun and maybe possibly above the sun. We're just here to talk about a conversation. This is our coffee table, and welcome to Raw Islam with Imam Azhar and Brother Carl. And with that, Brother Carl is going to enlighten us, as he does every week, on an amazing Twitter poll that he sends out Sunday night, early Monday morning, either Monday during his lunch break or on his drive home while he's stuck in traffic from the DC area. When he remembers, he sends out a poll, and it's an amazing poll. So, Carl, tell us, while you have been in your social distancing confinement zone, tell us what were the subjects that our listeners were able to poll on, and what is it that they selected? Carl?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as Imam Azhar said, if you follow us on Twitter, VennNetwork, follow us on Twitter, VennNetwork, and yes, I know I said that twice. It was intentional. If you follow us over there every Monday, we post a poll where you, our fans, you, our followers, you, our listeners, get to pick what our topic will be on our live show on Tuesday evenings, which is what we're doing right now. And this week we posted a poll, and I would just like to make a disclaimer that I do not post polls and drive. That's dangerous. That's how accidents happen, and we don't want that. But this week we posted our poll, and the options were, of course, my favorite for this time of year, the Moon Wars. Because it is that time of year where we're going to begin the Moon Wars. Which is the next option was Ramadan at home, please. Lockdown protests. And of course, the fan favorite every year or every week, so that you can follow along with us, so that you can so we can just have a grab bag of whatever's on our minds on that day. What's the deal with? And the poll was posted. The poll ran, and like I said, I had new equipment, so I'm just trying to make everything work the way it's supposed to here. There we go. And as you can see, our winner this week was Ramadan at home, please. Now, I would just like to explain this poll for a quick second. so that I can frame the conversation a little bit. And that is simply that I think it was Sunday or Monday. There were some tweets that were circling around the universe, and I believe one of them was even sent by our dear president. And essentially, what he said was that the churches were closed for Easter, but he bets that the mosques will be open for Ramadan. And that is Islamophobic, that is racist, that is religiousist, if that's a word. And it also goes to what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, which is simply that we need to stay home. We understand that this is not business as usual. We understand that this is not what it seems like. We understand that many of us, myself included, we haven't prayed Jama in a month now. But these are unprecedented times and unprecedented situations. And I would really just like to stress that to avoid any sickness, to help flatten the curve, and to avoid any social blowback, let's just stay at home this Ramadan. And with that, over to you, sir.
Well, Carl, thank you so much, and thank you to you all, our listeners, for again selecting an important topic of discussion. Not only is it relevant to our times, it's important that for those who are Muslims and for those who are not, understand what Ramadan is in the home and why it is such an important time for us and what these guidelines are all about. Truly, my fellow listeners, we're facing a time, but quite a few weeks ago, when we started noticing around the world that newspaper articles online and print copy were attaching pictures of Muslims to their COVID headlines in America, but there would be something very peculiar of why this is happening. And now, as the times are twisting on us, that Trump had to actually talk about the tweet that he retweeted, where it was like, the Jews and the Christians, a beginning. And I'm just going to share this whole COVID situation. And so I seek God's help before that happens. So, with this confusion, where our administration and government should be focused upon, but sadly, where they less, it only makes it confusing when important time, and thus no one else should consider their time days, and then we celebrate with a feast upon completing these 30 days of fast. It's a very soul enriching experience, and it requires for us to be very focused. Unfortunately, this year even the Muslim community isn't focused. They are as isn't because people have strong mass, the Jews with their celebration and with their worship. It's just something new to all of us. And so as we try to make sense of where we are and what it is that we are trying to do, have decided along what they're saying we need to turn to God, feet apart, checking their temperature before they come in, spraying them down in this to close mosques, in like the one in Tampa, Florida. They making these segments with makeshift rooms. The point is that people feel that there needs to be something close to people's ideologies or decisions or their thought process. What I want to explain is that religion teaches us everything and anything is not always normal. Things change, life changes, things happen. The life that you and I have been accustomed to for the last 40, 50 years, whatever it may be, 100 years ago there was World War One. After that there was World War Two. After that there was Vietnam. And now we're in a state of uh, that we've derailed from normal. It's not that. We're going precautionary measure and to take a step with precaution and not to take what we call the leap of faith. The leap of faith at this time, that when it comes to quarantine, the Prophet Muhammad a plague to break out. Those who are in should not leave. Those with contagious diseases should be kept away from those who are healthy. What's the whole purpose of social distancing? Until we can identify those who are sick so they can be treated and where there is plague. And since our entire Canada is closed, why do we do these things? Why are these measures being taken in the light based on the rules and regulations of nations? But the Prophet taught through the guidelines of our faith that we should threat and harm that's looming in our nation and in our world. He become and try to become those so-called heroes of American economy. There similar fashion Sweden that's not practicing New Zealand of Eden has ailment. He embracing this till they're too strong to from him. Finish eating hands. Regarding it, and for those who are not from the Muslim Muhammad peace or anyone, storms are our plague. The Prophet Muhammad said, the plague or the contagion other than Allah's decree of a Mars place. But yes, there's gonna be a lot of on your email from Isna and Amja and all these of the grand mosque to be Taraweeh, the night prayer, just to uphold the practice. Double, triple the amount of people that go for the annual Hajj pilgrimage, it's gonna be shut down. So when they release their guidelines, and Egypt releases their guidelines, and Pakistan releases their guidelines, and then home, because this was an interesting tough questions to ask, or they have concerns they want to.
Is that my and so I've already put into the chat room. I already apologized that Stan is opening the mosques and they're making what it is, and if they're taking precautions, I guess that's about it until you be upon him and leaving the Quran. Well, that's what's happening. This is where we are. Oh, it was this person's fault and this wet mark, but at the same time, and yeah, pass it back to you with that.
May not acknowledge mosque and to meet with their friends and kind of kicking in some of the other halal restaurants. Of course, it's Ramadan, Carl. I'm sure you know it's the month of fundraisers. So there's going to be many fundraiser sessions which will last till the Maghrib prayer. So they'll do some talks and stuff and they'll break fast. The social component of this is gone. Spirituality. Remember, there's spirituality are the social. I was like, I thought we're in a shutdown. It was dead. It was practically dead. Open the country. I understand our economy is important. If it's an economy we want, we need to have a healthy rocket science on this. Don't think business is gonna. No one is gonna go to amusement park. It's not gonna just open like things we need to put into consideration before doing your spirituality. The next, this is a need to go in a room and close the door. And it that way. This does not sound off our what so end of humanity. So, Carl, this is my choppy tonight. I totally understand the word.
So I know that.
So
just as an example, in Hulu definition handle, we're dealing with it here too. On the background, skipping and shit, right? That I know I've seen. Any sense to me, because as you said, it takes people to and everything. I was watching today. I was watching something earlier, and they were saying that the in 5 days. And you know, I like pat myself on the back or anything like that, but before we came on, this one don't have any of the bot, and I'm not the person that this person was calling. I wanted to let you know that I'm not the person you're looking for, and called me back. I wouldn't have known that. Super thankful for what you did. Thank me that he was struggling. He was in the fact that he was surprised that somebody's doing the right thing. And Taraweeh via Zoom, because the internet connection is.
It goes to show how far humanity has really drifted. And that's exact situation to